on kind of like that rookie deal because they just can't fit too many salaries with the cap they have right now. But it will be interesting because I think one of the more underrated, and I know we focus on Lamar in this offense a lot, but defensively, they have some holes there too.
Jamison Hensley on Barton Hahn. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Chiefs get wideout Kadarius Toney in a trade with the Giants. New York will get a conditional third-round pick and a sixth-round pick. Toney has missed the last 5 games with hamstring injuries in both legs, but he tweeted today he's not hurt. David Stearns steps down as Brewers president of baseball operations, saying he needs to take a break. He'll stay with the team in an advisory role. Matt Arnold, the GM since 2020, moves up to take over.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Man, we are jam-packed today. Locked, loaded, ready to roll. RC is going to be in studio with us here shortly. Been a minute since we've had RC in studio. Looking forward to that today. Fantasy Blitz later this hour. You know the drill. We'll go out to Vegas 1 hour from right now to preview the Raiders. We'll debut a new segment on the show today with professional handicapper Paul Nolan. He's going to be giving out picks every Thursday here at the bottom of hour 2. So that's 4:30 Central. Make sure you are here. Paul Nolan from freewinners.net is going to be giving out free picks on Thursdays with us every Thursday moving forward. So we're looking forward to that. And then LSU's into their open day weekend, man. Miles Frazier and Noah Cain had a chance to spend about 30 minutes with those guys earlier today. And so we'll share our convo with Miles Frazier, LSU starting left guard, and Noah Cain, LSU running back, a couple of Get Gordon athletes. So, of course, we appreciate our relationship with Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys, for helping us set that up. Thursday Night Football tonight, it's obviously of great consequence for the New Orleans Saints, and it's so odd to say because the Saints are sitting there at 2-5. But, I mean, you look at the two division leaders at 3-4, and you're a game behind. So, man, you really, really, really need Baltimore to go to Tampa tonight and win this game if you're holding out hope for the Saints to make the playoffs. Now, you know my feeling on this, and I've said it already. Yes, mathematically, the Saints are very much in it. You're a game out of first place. So, yes, mathematically, you're very, very much in it. I don't see a way that this team scratches out more than 6 wins. 6-11 isn't going to be enough to win this division. So, no, I don't think that they're going to climb back in and win the division. But to keep the probability alive, yes, I want Baltimore to win tonight. I want them to go to Tampa and win tonight and keep the Saints very much in it. I want the Saints to beat the Raiders on Sunday in the Dome and move to 3-5 and give themselves a chance for another week to make their move. As we started the show on Wednesday, we had word from Dennis Allen that they were starting Andy Dalton. And what we had at that time was just tweets that Andy Dalton was going to start, that it was and that Jameis participated fully in practice. Here was Dennis Allen on the conference call. It's number 6, Muse, if you would. This is Dennis Allen explaining that the decision to start Andy Dalton is not based on injury, but rather performance.
I think it's an offensive decision. And what I mean by that is, in the last 4 weeks, again, we're one of the top offenses in terms of moving the ball. We're one of the top offenses in terms of scoring points, and that's really the name of the game. And so we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. We got to do a better job of protecting the football. And if we do that, I think we can be highly effective offensively.
I don't know if I believe Dennis Allen. And I'm not calling him a liar, but so please don't misunderstand. I'm not calling him a liar. Sometimes coaches don't fully disclose injuries, and for whatever reason it may be, competitive advantage, whatever. But Nick Underhill did tweet yesterday some background on what Jameis Winston has been dealing with. He suffered a ruptured peroneal tendon in his foot against Tampa Bay, he says, according to multiple sources. He went back in the game. That injury, not the back injury, has been the bigger issue, Nick Underhill points out. Okay. Jameis Winston has 4 broken vertebrae in his back and a ruptured tendon in his foot. In what reality are you going to try to convince me that dude is 100% ready to play? Y'all, before I go any further, let me be so very clear here. You all know that I was the first person, literally, more than 2.5 years ago, to say when Tampa parted ways with Jameis, Saints need to sign him. You know that I was very optimistic about him a year ago, very optimistic about the possibility coming into this year. I am also realistic enough to know that nothing we have seen so far through 2 weeks or two seasons with Jameis, injury plagued, is enough to suggest he's your franchise. So let me be very clear. Yes, I'm a guy who understood and was very much okay with them kicking the tires on Jameis Winston, and I'm very much hoping that it works out. Also, nothing that we've seen through 2 years where he's battled injuries is enough of a definitive sample to say, that's your guy. Okay? So we're all clear where I'm coming from. But you cannot tell me, and I understand that no player at this point in an NFL season is 100%. But that dude's got 4 broken vertebrae and a ruptured tendon in his foot. If you're trying to convince me right now that he's not limited by those injuries, I just don't believe you. And that good on Jameis for practicing fully and getting out there and trying to be a dude and be there for his team, and he wants to play and play for a contract. God bless, do play with broken vertebrae and a torn tendon in his foot. I can't even imagine the pain. But he went out there and did it. And it wasn't very good. At some point this year, and I'll say it again, at some point this year, 2 has got to be your starting quarterback again. Because you have got, whenever that is, and maybe they really do like where their offense is right now with Andy Dalton. If that's the case, it's a scary thought. Because Dalton's got there's a reason Cincinnati moved on. There's a reason Dallas moved on. There's a reason Chicago moved on. He's a quarterback in his 30s who had a lot of success in Cincinnati on a really good run for a decade, and that run is over for him. And he will be a journeyman backup quarterback in the NFL for however long he stays in the NFL, but he is not going to be anybody's franchise. And if that's the guy you're hitching your wagon to right now, that's a problem. But I'm going to say it again, and maybe this is just buying even more time for Jameis to get back and get healthier. But at some point this year, you're going to have to put Jameis Winston out there. When he's as healthy as he could possibly be this year, and you're going to have to let it rip. because you have got to make a decision if he can be your future. Maybe they've made that decision. Maybe they have. But you got to know definitively, because if you're moving on, you don't have great options. And great options aren't going to present themselves. But you need to know that definitively, if he can or if he can't. And I'd rather see that test case when he's healthier than he is right now with a broken back and a ruptured tendon in his foot. If you're trying to convince me that Andy Dalton throwing 3 picks, 2 pick sixes, 1 awful interception in the back of the end zone is your best bet, then you're telling me that the guy who's careless with the football but throws for a bunch of yards is your best bet. Well, wasn't that the knock on Jameis Winston his whole time in Tampa? Throws for a bunch of yards, bunch of touchdowns, careless with the football, turns it over too much. Wasn't that the knock? Why are you telling me Andy Dalton is a better option today? I just don't believe Dennis Allen. That's what I'm. And I don't think he's being deceitful. I don't think it's anything like that. I just think that he is being competitively coy with his comments, which coaches do, and he's entitled to. But I just do not believe if you're trying to tell me that Andy Dalton gives you the best chance to win. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. RC's going to be in studio. Looking forward to that. We're heading to Vegas in about 45 minutes. Preview the Raiders. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or oneourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, oneourbr.com. I was driving down I-10 today. Driving down I-10, passed on my left, because I was on the left, a big yellow van from River City's 1 Hour Air. You see them all over town. This is the time, y'all. This is the time. Before the cold weather comes, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Have them come out, that preseason heater safety check. They'll get your home central heater clean, tuned up, running efficiently, and most importantly, they'll have it running safely for the coming cold weather. That thing just sits there dormant for months, collects dust. It could be hazardous. Don't let it be. Don't take that chance. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Mention the Moscona special. They'll save you $30 on the preseason heater safety check. 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Ryan Clark will be in studio here in just a quick second. The Saints injury report is out. Let's just run through this real quickly. Oh, there's our... I told you it was a quick second. Wasn't that a quick second?
Bro, why is the elevator so slow?
I don't know, bro. The building's really old, man. Dude, it is an old building, isn't it? I mean, you don't need them you don't have to use them if you don't want them, but you can use them.
I mean, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Can you turn on is his mic on? Oh, his mic's on. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
How are you, RC?
Oh man, I'm just living life, bro. Oh wait, almost
no, you're
something
good.
In here.
No, you're good.
That tells you, man. I just haven't been in here in so long. I don't know how to work anything.
It has been a minute, but I got a text from you earlier today, and you're like, "Hey, we'll come in studio."
I'm coming studio today, man. I was here. I wasn't. Normally, I'm not here 2 days in a row, kind of. So I'm usually only here like Wednesday evening, Thursday, and like a little bit of Friday. But
how did your week go? Travel. I don't think people.
So this week, I leave for Colorado tomorrow.
Arizona State
plays Colorado. So I'll be there. So usually I catch a red eye if I can to New York, but
on Sunday
night. So like on Saturday night, Sunday morning. I can't this week because it's a night game. So I leave Colorado 6:00 Sunday morning to go to New York. I watch the games in New York at the studio. I work in New York Monday morning. Then I fly to D.C. at 2:00. I land in D.C. at 3:20. I work in D.C. Monday night for SVP. Then I wake up the next morning. I fly to Connecticut. Then I work in Connecticut, NFL Live, and do my DC and RC Tuesday. And so then it just depends. So like, let's say, I think like next week we're not filming until Wednesday night, Thursday for the pivot. So what I'll do is I'll fly home Tuesday night, get home like a little bit after midnight in New Orleans. I'll stay at home until I guess like that evening. Then I'll fly wherever we have to fly to film. I know we film in New York Thursday, so I'll film in New York on Thursday. Then I'll fly home Thursday night so I can work from home Friday. And then I'll leave Friday night to go to Arizona for Jordan's game next week. Yeah, so that's what's going to be.
Every time I see you on TV, and I assume I haven't asked you your schedule, but I assumed that you were flying to DC to do the SVP show. I don't know if maybe you hopped on a train, but
I would take a train. Train seems fun.
Trains are great.
Yeah, train. Yeah. I mean, like a train would seem fun, and it would seem like you just get there, you sit on the train, you have a little space, you could do whatever it is you need to do. You probably have Wi-Fi or whatever it is. I may take the train at some point. You know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to do. You can train it from DC to.
Yeah, I take a train. I have no problem with that.
Are you? I mean, at this point of the season, like I'm tired. You gotta be tired. You gotta be.
You know what? Because I got to come home Tuesday, I slept. I didn't have a clock set for yesterday, so I slept well. I woke up at like 8. Today I did the same thing, and I've gotten to do my workouts and everything. Like I'm finished pretty much for the day. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna eat with the wife, and then watch football tonight. I mean, like I am well rested today.
Good.
You know. Now what happens next week? Who knows?
Are you? And I want to talk about LSU. I mean, that's why you come here.
I can do 2 of them here. I got time. Yep.
Okay. I want to. Are you going to keep doing the pivot like forever?
No, I'm not. I think like it's so weird how you make money off of that thing. You know what I mean? It's not like normal how you just go to work and you get money. You know, like you got to do these deals and then these deals are so, you know, whether it's like we have a DraftKings deal and then the DraftKings deal, they can do like certain things. And we're kind of like, it's weird, you know, or we have a SeatGeek deal. And so then you get paid from those things. You split the money up amongst the partners or whatever it is. Like Amazon, we've been in negotiations with them to like buy our audio, stuff like that. But I don't know if we like the deal. I don't know. It's like all kind of stuff. So I would think it has a 3 to 5 year run.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That we could be great at it, you know. There are only like so many like Joe Rogans and people who do it, who can just do it forever. You know, I think it's easier when it's like one guy, you know, but like, so the plan is to turn like the pivot into a production, like a production hub, right? To where we do different things. Like Channing wants to get into producing comedy shows and doing things like that, where he would be, I guess, like the Martin Lawrence to the Def Comedy Jam. You know, so he started actually doing stand up. So Channing's doing stand up now, and he wants to produce like these shows with like these young comedians. And like for me, getting an opportunity to do this has kind of opened my eyes to like things I want to do. So actually something I've been thinking about, and I hope nobody steals my idea, is almost doing, because you know how true crimes is such a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've really gotten into like being able to tell stories or allowing people to tell their story. So I want to do like an extended series of podcasts, so where it be, you know, whether 6, 7, 8 episodes, where we dive into athletes who have dealt with criminal situations, whether it be different court cases where they were found guilty or court cases where they were found innocent, and kind of dive into like the different views of whether it be them, if they're the victim, or if they were the accused and the victim, and who, you know, who investigated it, what the court was like. And so I kind of want to get into like doing some of those things and telling some of those stories, which would be like another section of what we do. And so I think the show will always be the show. I think eventually we'll go down to one show a week at some point. But, you know, we all want to do different things from it. Yeah. And this is allowing us to kind of explore that.
I mean, it's been a meteoric rise. If you're not subscribed yet, you should go to YouTube, subscribe to The Pivot, or your favorite podcast app. But I would assume people would probably prefer to watch the video there on YouTube. Tracy McGrady. You know what was fascinating about the Tracy McGrady interview? And you clipped it, I saw, but it was he gave the same answer that Ken Griffey Jr. did on, and it was the question of, and I find this fascinating. It's a question of it's guys who are great players who there you go.
Come on,
would you trade your Hall of Fame
for a championship
status for a championship? And Ken Griffey Jr. said no, and Tracy McGrady said no. And I find that so interesting because they both play team sports, where you hear so often guys say, I'd give up the individual accolades.
I love it. I've absolutely loved both of those answers, because it's so far from like the mainstream status quo answer, because we're so used to hearing people say, yes, I traded.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, is it like when guys get further away from their careers, or is it just the setting? Right? Is it just the setting of like, all right, this is just the homeboys.
Yeah. So
like, I can just say whatever. I can tell the truth. Whereas when you're in that, you know, that media, I'm sitting up there and dang Bryant's Gumbel on the Real Sports. So, you know, Brian Gumbel is going to say the name different. So Tracy McGrady, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know, if they feel like they have to answer it that way. But I've thought that both of those answers were cool. And I thought the different explanations were good. Like Ken Griffey, like when you're around him, like you realize that he understands he's Ken Griffey.
But he don't want to admit he's Ken Griffey.
But he doesn't like to admit it. You know, he's like, this is normal. And like the point we were trying to make to him, yeah, Ken, like 7 jets for you is normal. 7 jets for us is not.
Yeah.
You know, and he was kind of just explaining those things. And Ken, it was kind of like, nah, because I'm me. I don't need a championship. You know, and then Tracy McGrady, I think, gave the answer that I really respected, though. He was like, if I could have won the championship as like Tracy, not the guy that sat on the Spurs bench. And I thought that was a really, enlightening answer.
No, it's a look. I mean, Karl Malone went to the Lakers and tried to snag one late in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Would it have meant the same as that had they beaten MJ in the
Hell
90s?
no.
Absolutely not. But that's the point. It's a great point. The Tracy McGrady episode of The Pivot is up right now if you want to go check it out. What's dropping Friday? Can you tease it?
Yeah, I'll tell y'all. Thomas Jones is Friday. And the reason we ended up doing Thomas Jones is like we try to do these different things where we show guys who take an entirely different lane of life when they're done. He's an actor now. He's been in Luke Cage.
The running back?
The running back, yeah. He's been in Luke Cage. He's been on Being Mary Jane. He's been in a ton of different movies. And so we thought it was cool to have a conversation with a guy who decided to do a totally different thing. He even changed his name. Not changed it, but he goes by Thomas Q. Jones now
Q. Jones.
to separate from being Thomas Jones. And it was dope. And I don't know if you've ever seen Thomas Jones, the way he looks. He's a very swole human.
I remember him mostly as a running back at Virginia.
Yeah, he's All-American.
More even than his NFL career.
Yeah, he's an All-American at Virginia, drafted 7th overall. He was 8th in Heisman voting. And obviously, we talk about all those things, but just as part of a teaser, we also talk about a man who never ate ketchup when he played because it had too much sugar in it. That was why he was so lean and so ripped that said he'd wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. when he retired because he didn't know what to do and he was depressed and start drinking Coronas. And he said he drank Corona until he went to sleep.
Just all day.
And he said actually it was getting an opportunity to act that snapped him out of that depression and doing that, And I don't know if people just want to come on our show and talk about being depressed now because everybody talks about it. And I guess it's now becoming one of those things to where it's not as taboo to speak of it. But I think that's the trend you're noticing more and more. And then, Channing just wanted to ask him about sex scenes pretty much. and
every episode, it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming at some point.
Right. He's like, yeah, and I saw you bite old girl's lip when you was doing the sex scene. and he's talking about Gabrielle Union. He's like, so when you see Dwayne Wade, what's that like? Because, he knows you TV hunched his wife, you know what I'm saying? So he's yeah, man. So he's like, and
oh God,
it's hanging out with Channing, bro. It's different, man. It's it's been cool to be around somebody that legitimately believes the opposite of everything, or we're on the show. And the guy could be talking about his career and he'll say something and Channing will really be like, oh, you don't believe that. But I know the guy believes it. I actually know he's wrong for believing it. But since he's decided to be a guest on our show for free, I just let him believe it. You know what I mean?
He's going to be super polite.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead, man. I don't agree with you, but fine. Tell this story. Yeah. But Channing's like, oh, you don't think you were that good, don't you? Do you? And I'm always like, Channing.
He's the guy that'll say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why the show works. So you can tell I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the show from the very beginning.
I don't know if you've ever watched the Sunday show. So we did the Sunday show with Jeff Darlington, right? And Jeff Darlington was on the show. So we're pitching doing this a Sunday football show. But it's we're trying to find the space for it. And initially I was trying to get it done so it could be networky, but I don't want it to be networky no more. I just want it to be us. And so I'm talking about an instance I had with Lamar Jackson where he DM'd me because I tweeted something about his mom. But I tweeted about his mom as his agent, saying, if he doesn't play better, he won't be able to convince him. His mom won't be able to, but took offense that I used his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of talked through it or whatever. And Channing couldn't understand what we were talking about. And he just kept saying, but RC, he's dumb. Having your mom as your agent, that's not efficient. But he couldn't understand. He couldn't understand though that wasn't the issue. That we weren't even talking about her position in his life. That we were just saying he misunderstood how I was using her in context. Right? Channing kept saying, but still, having your mom as your agent It just makes no sense.
I'm just all I know is I need to see the episode where he's wearing LSU gear, and
it's coming soon, man.
All right.
Yeah, he's actually in Spain.
Okay.
Right now, he's in Spain and Fred's in London.
Good for them.
Yeah, they get to take trips. We don't.
Good for them.
Because you know why?
Why?
He was supposed to be on like couples retreat, like the show where they like film it, and it's like a couples retreat show. It's like reality, and I was so ready for that.
Wait, is he actually going to do that?
No, he's not going to do it.
Why
now.
not?
They asked for like too much stuff. They wanted like exclusivity for like a year and all kind of stuff like that. So he ended up not being able to do it because he didn't want it to like interfere with any deal we did with the pivot. But I was like, bro, I was like, I know I could have got it for free. I would actually pay to see you on a couple show.
He's pretty perfect for it. All right, our season studio. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back and we'll talk LSU, Bama. Tigers going into their bye week feeling pretty good. We'll continue with RC next.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
after further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, RC is in studio with us here on a... Wait, can you hit the Achilles drop? We ain't got to hear it yet today.
Guys, they're slacking over here.
Courtesy of DraftKings, by the way.
I say what's normally in the Open.
Yeah, I
We
know.
didn't
That's
play
true.
the
That's true.
Open.
RC's visit with us each week is brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NFL and official sports betting partner of the NBA. Got Thursday Night Football tonight. You want to place a wager? You can. New customers use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5. That ain't it. Bet just $5 on a money line bet. If it hits, they'll give you $200 in free bets.
They do that. You know how I know? I do this same exact ad every week.
They are like the DraftKings folks are super particular about the copy points. Look at his face. They are, bro. They know what they want. They have it down to a science, bro.
But can you
they
imagine
know what they want you to push?
But can you imagine trying to do this,
With
but like
James.
not do it with reading? You know what I'm saying? So we're like, oh, we're trying to make it natural so when it fits into the show, it just fits into the show. Oh my gosh, bro.
Wait, hang on. We got to hit the disclaimer.
Are you working today, bro? Oh my God.
Only when an older physically present in Louisiana. Select
Is this
coaches
your
only. Bonus
job?
issued as free bets.
Can't
One boost
be.
per eligible game. Options
Can't
apply.
be your
Parlay and
job.
wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/.
That's supposed to be like your side gig. Sheesh.
17770. Stop.
We normally don't. The disclaimer doesn't go with the opening segment. It goes to the floater.
Paying you today.
Obviously, I had Achilles queued up.
Are you getting paid today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
they don't care. They don't care.
Hey, man, look.
They don't care what level you do your
You
job
take-
at.
You
Just
take where
show
you
up.
can get it, RC. You take where you can get it.
Paulie, that is so validating. Poor Muse. It's okay, Muse. RC doesn't have headphones. He just hit the Achilles drop.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I had it. No, I had that. It was the DraftKings disclaimer that wasn't there, man.
Oh, man.
Good job, bro.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
3 minutes late.
Nailed it. Hey, the Tigers going to be on
Why
the
are your eyes watering, man?
I'm laughing, bro. I'm like crying. Woo.
Love you, bro.
You just don't understand. Like that's when you're not here. That's like an ongoing bit of the show about how Muso's always high and he never has the drops and everything's wrong. And so it's like this ongoing bit. And you just unsolicited just completely exposed the thing that we've been talking about here for years. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna compose myself.
I'm with you when you're right.
Okay. Hey man, we gonna beat Bama?
I don't know. I'm much more excited about our chances now than I would have been 2 weeks ago. Honestly, everything in my life at LSU now is about my fraternity group chat.
Okay.
There's a guy in my fraternity group chat. I don't even know. Like, I love him. I don't know if I like him. Right? Like, we don't think alike on anything. He really, really did not like Jaden Daniels early.
Okay.
And I love Jaden Daniels. One, because he's like, one of my son's best friends. But I actually think he's really talented. And he just was like hating on him constantly. And I was like, hey, man, give him a chance. Like, he's a really, really talented individual. And so, like, I'm glad to see that he's playing well. I think the hardest part about playing Alabama is I believe their quarterback is so, so good.
I know.
Like, I think if he's, because he's 5'10", he's a little joker. He's not very big, 5'11" at the most. If he's 6'2", I think he's the highest rated, like highest evaluated quarterback in the last 20 years.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think Bryce Young, without question, and this counts every NFL quarterback I've studied this year.
Okay.
I believe he's the most poised quarterback living.
Really?
Without question. You can't rattle him. He's a guy who can run and who can move, and you can't force him into it. He only does it when he wants to. When he does do it, it's to go out and win. Jamar's out 4 to 6 weeks, by the way. that really, really sucks for Cincinnati. And I think he's just difficult to beat. We can score points on him. It's about finding the right matchups, using Cain in the right way, obviously Malik outside, and, just having opportunities to find the matchups. A lot of people have attacked Alabama inside the slot this year, and that's with finding ways to get the safety to roll down and be one-on-one. If we can get that matchup with 7, I think that's something we can exploit because we've used him mostly in the slot. Outside receivers are playing well. Run game picking up a little bit because now we've decided to use Jaden in that, a lot. And so I think we have a chance, man. I'm not excited about our chances, but I think we have a chance, in which I didn't necessarily believe early on in the year.
Why do you think it's that Jaden the last 2 weeks has looked like the guy that we talked about from his freshman year at Arizona State?
I'm not sure. I don't get to go to practice. I don't. I do believe, if you look back, just think about 2 of the touchdown catches in the last 2 games. One in the left corner against Florida. We take the football off a guy's head. Mm-hmm. We catch one. Yeah. We catch one the opposite side. I think it was Jenkins last week. That he was wide open. The throw was actually underthrown. Comes back in between 2 guys and makes that play. Think back to early on in the season, how many times we could say, you know what, an LSU receiver just went up and made a play.
Yeah.
Right? An LSU receiver was just better than the other guy. And so I think that those things are important. I also think that when you call the quarterback runs and they're not just necessarily like part of second play opportunities for a guy who's athletic like him, it gets him into the game, right? Like some quarterbacks just like the warm-up throw, you know what I mean? The hitch or the quick out, the slant. I think for him, it's just getting the juices going and feeling like part of the team. Like he's a football player, not just necessarily a quarterback. And I think, you go back to, and no, guys, I'm not comparing him to these humans and what they accomplished in college, okay? But think Tim Tebow, right? Cam Newton, guys like that, Marcus Mariota, like that were dual threat that way. There were calls made to get them in the flow of the football game, not just the passing game. And I think that's something that LSU has done a really good job of the last 2 weeks.
Can LSU's defense slow down? How much can LSU's defense
I think they can. I think they can, and here's why.
35 points?
Yeah. I don't think
25 points?
I don't think their receivers are great.
That's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Alabama's receivers are great. Like if their receivers were great, they score 80 points a game because their quarterback's great.
Yeah.
And so I think we can match up on the outside. I think they drop footballs. I think what's his name? Gibbs, the running back.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Super duper fast.
Yeah.
Like changes the game type of fast. So our gap integrity, our tackling will be important in the run game. But I believe this year, more than any year, we match up very well with them outside and in the secondary just because I don't think that their players are that good.
Ryan Clark's here with us. He's on Twitter at RealRClark25, but you know that. Good enough to join us every Thursday here on AFR in studio for a couple of segments. Next week, I think we can go deeper dive into the game maybe.
Sure.
But one other big question, like a big picture question, I should say, through up into this point in the season, if I told you LSU 6-2, 4-1 in the league, lose to Florida, I think we would all take it, right? But would you be surprised that they are where they are?
No, because being that I hate LSU, I look at them with a very critical eye, right? Because you know me, hate LSU.
The funny thing is, RC, when people say that, like, and I mean, I know you, right? Like, and I get that everybody doesn't know you. Like, they see you, they know who you are. But like, you've told me so many times that you love LSU because you picked LSU.
I think that's why.
Like, no,
it's the only team in the world I've ever gotten to pick.
I mean, like the thing with you and Swagoo on SEC Nation last week, like you looked so. It was like
I freaking love the school,
dude.
Bro.
It was like
I love it.
It was like, but dude, you were like, it was like this, like it's how I imagine these like primal hunters. Like that's why RC was a lunatic on the field. Like that's the guy that would just
I love it,
throw his body at people.
But I think the thing that people miss is like you can love something and still be honest about it. Right?
Yeah, I've made a living doing that.
Yeah, and I think, and true, like and I think people miss this. I'm not an LSU fan, right? I'm not an LSU fan. Like, I'm really an LSU Tiger. To me, there's a difference in that, right? Like, there are all these people that love LSU, right? And I'll be like, hey, man, what school did you go to? And they're like walking around like the airport in LSU polo. I'm like, oh, man, you went to LSU? No, I went to Nichols. Well,
that's okay.
Guys, I'm not saying that it's not that you can't be an LSU fan.
Okay, yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is, though,
you know what you're gonna get, though.
What I'm trying to tell them is, though, I'm different than you.
Yeah.
And I think people miss that, right? Like for me, it's not just about the colors, like it's about the people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I can put myself in the shoes of that starting free safety. I can put myself in the shoes of that student athlete. Like, I've been there. And I understand what it feels like to be supported or not be supported or deal with different things. And so my care and my focus is a deeper focus. Like, I want them to win games more so for them, right? Like, LSU winning the national championship, yes, I'm going to smoke cigars and have a good time. But that is for them. Like, I didn't do what Jamar Chase did or what Joe did. Like, I can't share that, but I can be happy for them. Mm-hmm. And so the thing people have an issue with me is, it's like, if I feel something, like, I say it. And so, you know, like, everybody's like, oh, like, I always get like the Billy Napier thing. Like, oh, look how much better Brian Kelly's doing than Billy Napier. And you wanted Billy Napier. Right? Well, the thing was this, right? But I also said on TV, on First Take, the day Brian Kelly was hired, I was like, yes, Brian Kelly is going to win here. I was like, Brian Kelly is probably going to win a national championship at LSU. I said, because he can really coach football, right? And he really can. And the last two dudes that were here, right, they won championships, and they ain't him. Matter of fact, one of them was so terrible when he was here, they fired him from his new job. Right? Think about that. Like, how awful of an organization / university do you have to run that when the news come out about how bad it was there, your new job has to fire you?
You gotta go.
Is like that's like Kanye level incompetence, right? And so he won a national championship and could have maybe won another one, right? And then then Ed Ogeron, God bless his soul, right? He won a championship. He coached the greatest college football team in the history of football.
I know.
And I love him. I can't say that there's ever been a time where I was like, this man is a football genius.
No.
And he won a national championship. So Brian Kelly is going to win the national championship here, guy. Brian Kelly can freaking coach football. You know how I know? Because everywhere Brian Kelly goes, they win football games. And guess what's going to happen to LSU? He's going to have the best football players he has ever coached in his life.
That's true.
And they're going to win a national championship. So I don't have any issue with Brian Kelly or what he's doing because I expected this from him. And I also, unlike the rest of the people here, had a ton of faith in number 5. Like, I have watched him do things naturally, not surrounded by the talent he'd have at LSU, that I was like, oh, he got something different. And so it's so cool to see that happening now. And I mean, I think we all thought, you know, that kind of like 9 games was the sweet spot. Mm-hmm. Like if we got 9, like that was the year. And honestly, you go back from Florida State, like this could be a 10-win team, you know, if you win that game. And so they still got some hard games to play. But I think if this team wins 9 games, man, you have to consider this season with having to use the transfer portal the way they had. This season has been a huge success.
He's Ryan Clark with us every Thursday, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. Make sure you check out The Pivot. Get to YouTube, subscribe up to
all
The
you
Pivot.
LSU fans that didn't go to LSU, we still keep y'all. We love y'all. Keep supporting.
You trying to kick
Keep
that
going
anthill, bro?
to the tailgate,
Why are you
guys.
trying to kick the anthill?
Keep going to the tailgates,
you
guys.
like just raring back. Just piss off all them ants.
RC, you hate LSU. RC's the only one that bled and sweat out there too, though. Get hated if I want to, but I don't. But I could. We freaking went to Tulane and LSU. Never mind. I'm done. How many interceptions y'all got?
You realize now you go walk out, and I'm going to have to deal with all the pissed off fire
How many tackles you made at LSU? I'm still 7th on the all-time tackle list. Yes.
Are you 7th all time?
Yes. How many tackles y'all made? Huh? Oh, none? Ha!
Does it count? Does it count for the 0-1 Auburn game when I jumped over the fence?
It absolutely
and I had to like run over the sheriff's
You've been on the grass,
deputy who was pepper spraying everybody?
Think about it. It's like you and Cecil Collins, the only people to just run over folks that day.
He was already gone by then.
Well, Auburn, that was 0-1?
That was 0-1 Auburn when y'all went to go to Atlanta.
I was such a bad football player that year. That was really trash.
That was a fun team.
It really was.
I had a good year. I had a really fun time.
So were you still in school for the Natty?
That was my senior year.
Did you go?
I went to every game when I was a student, home and away. The only one I missed was oh God, we're so late. Bluegrass Miracle, only game I missed. I'll tell you the story later. I gotta go. It's Heartbreak at AFR.
Hey, do your job.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. RC just told Muso to do his job. Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Fall is here. It's a great time to get by Clegg's. They have fall flowers galore, petunias and mums, snapdragons, full greenhouses. Go check them out. It's time to add that pop of fall color to your flower beds, to your patio pots. It's Clegg's Nursery. Get by any of the 4 locations: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. You know where those locations are. They've been there forever, and they can help you out. If you're looking for that fall color, they got it. And remember, y'all, they still got a great selection of pumpkins and hay bales and scarecrows and all that stuff. If you need it to decorate for Halloween on Monday, get by Clegg's this weekend. Buy local, shop local. Be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Horrible management on my part. Sincere apologies. Went super long with RC, like we're literally at a break again.
AFR.
So that's our hard top of the hour break. All right, so we are going to go to SportsCenter. And then on the other side, we're going to talk to Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review-Journal and ESPN Las Vegas. So we're looking forward to having Adam Hill here to preview Saints and Raiders. That's coming up right after SportsCenter. We are brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com, bumper-to-bumper auto service and name-brand tires at wholesale prices. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You know where to find them. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. If you need work done on your vehicle, if you need the check engine light comes on, everything from an oil change or everything under the hood all the way to brand new tires, Shaw Bills, they're going to treat you like family. They're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, cheaper than the membership clubs, the box stores, the other discount tire places. Shaw Bills is going to give you the best price, but they're going to treat you like family like they've done for more than 50 years. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. SportsCenter is coming right up.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Bengals wideout Jamar Chase will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury. Chase is still getting opinions about that injury and his options. Ravens and Buccaneers in Tampa tonight to start Week 8. The Bucs have lost 2 straight for the second time this season. As a starter, Tom Brady has lost 3 straight games only once in his career, and that was 20 years ago. Broncos GM George Payton still fully supports coach Nathaniel Hackett and quarterback Russell Wilson. Payton's team is 2-5.
We're in it for the long haul with Russ, not the first 7 games. We believe in Russ. I believe in Russ. We just need to play better on offense and the timing and the rhythm, and we need an identity. We really don't have an identity in offense, and I think that comes with time, and again, hopefully it comes soon.
George Payton, the Broncos are the lowest scoring team in the league and have lost 4 in a row. They'll play the Jaguars in London Sunday. Our Adrian Wojnarowski reports Wizards guard DeLon Wright will miss 6 to 8 weeks with a hamstring strain.
As the leagues change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Matt?
You're a loser, Matt!
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Thanks to RC for hanging out with us last hour here in studio. If you missed it, you can catch it on demand. Bottom of this hour, 30 minutes from right now, Paul Nolan from freewinners.net. We're going to start a regular Thursday segment. He's going to give you free winners on the show. Looking forward to that. We'll have Paul Nolan with us again, bottom of this hour. Oh, in 1 hour from right now, Miles Frazier, Noah Cain, LSU's left guard and running back. Had a good chance to visit with them for about half an hour. We're going to let you hear our conversation with Miles Frazier and Noah Cain coming up to start hour number 3. Right now, though, let's go out to the desert. Adam Hill, ESPN Las Vegas, and the Las Vegas Review-Journal joins us as the Saints and the Raiders. Right now, a couple of 2-win football teams. They'll meet Sunday in the Dome. My apologies, Moose, if you would. Let's have our opposing media segment. You have the open for it? Yeah, sorry, my bad. That's my bad.
Who did say gonna beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Viva Las Vegas.
All right, so now we can officially welcome Adam Hill to the show. Adam, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm good, and very good, because I get to go to New Orleans this weekend, so there's nothing wrong with that.
There are far worse assignments than getting to cover a game in New Orleans in the Superdome. It would be better, certainly, if we had a couple of winning football teams. Hey, man, let me just start. Obviously, there was a lot of expectation around the Raiders. You bring in Devontae Adams. I think we all know the story. And here out the chute, 2-4. What's the mood, the general mood around the franchise right now?
I think it's actually fairly positive considering what their record is. I mean, I know in the locker room they will tell you, hey, they're 3 or 4 plays away from being, 5-1, 4-2. I mean, there's a couple of games that came right down to the wire. They just weren't able to win. I think they believe they are a much better team than their record is. And they also have the schedule laid out in front of them. I mean, they are really tough, first 4 games of the season. And then this is one of the games here as part of a 6-game stretch that they think are all very, very winnable. So, at the end of this 6-game stretch, if they've gone 3-3 or 2-4, then they're going to be, I think, a lot of miserable people in that locker room. But right now, they think everything is still laid out right in front of them.
When I look at the offense, 3rd in the NFL in scoring, it doesn't look like, on a surface level anyway, that the offense has been the problem. How has the offense been so far this year?
It's been disconnected, I guess, a little bit is a fair thing to say. The last 3 games, their running game has absolutely come alive, and that has transformed what this team is. I mean, we saw it against Kansas City. This is a game that nobody thought the Raiders would be able to win. They went in there and, had a chance to win at the very end. They were up 17-0 and then had the ball with a chance to win on the last possession because the running game was so effective. Last week against the Texans, they absolutely just took over down the stretch. Josh Jacobs, 3 straight games over 140 yards. It's like a historic pace that he's on right now. The running game has absolutely changed a lot of what this team is, and it's a little bit surprising considering the fact that they have, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, sometimes Darren Waller when he's playing, Hunter Renfrow sometimes when he's healthy this year. But they have all these weapons in the passing game, and the offensive line was such a question mark, except they have just allowed this offensive line to find confidence by running downhill and letting Josh Jacobs get behind them and put up a bunch of big numbers. So I'm not a big running game guy. I'm not a big, old school, run the ball, stop the run is the way to win guy, but it's been effective for them. And what it's really done is open up their play-action passing game. Last week, Derek Carr, 9 of 10 for like 150 yards on the play-action. It was very, very effective, and that's what happens when you get that running game going.
Yeah, and I want to ask about Josh Jacobs since you brought him up. I mean, he's found a resurgence, 3 straight 100-yard games. How? Why? How? Explain.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the underlying numbers will tell you Josh Jacobs was playing very, very well early in the season. They just weren't running the ball. And a lot of that is, I think Josh McDaniels wants to have Derek Carr and Devontae Adams find success, and they know what they have in terms of the weapons in the passing game. But Josh Jacobs was only getting a couple of carries a game, and a part of that also was the fact that they were falling behind in games. And they weren't, they're kind of abandoning the run. And the last couple of weeks, they've said, no matter game script, no matter what's happening, we're going to dedicate ourselves to running the ball. And they found something there. And another part of that, and you mentioned Josh Jacobs. He's been consistent. He's been good. When he's gotten the ball, he's been efficient with what he's doing. But the offensive line is finding confidence, and I think that's big. Like they're not a good group. I don't think on paper anybody will say this is like a dominant group of players, but they are much more comfortable run blocking than pass blocking. And I think that they've figured that part of it out, and they've allowed them to do that, and that's helped open things up. So Josh Jacobs, of course, playing for a contract. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and on the record, he will not say anything about that, but trust me, he knows he's playing for a contract, and we're seeing that come to life right now.
Adam Hill's with us, ESPN Las Vegas, also the Las Vegas Review-Journal, previewing the Raiders. Saints-Raiders noon Sunday in the Dome. Let's flip it over and talk a little bit about that Raiders defense. I mean, I can look at the scoring defense. I can look at a lot of the numbers. Where is the strength of that Raiders defense?
Well, the strength of the Raiders defense is 2 players, one who you'll see Sunday and one who you won't. Max Crosby is just a beast. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. He gets the quarterback at will, it seems. And then last week, I thought he really took another step forward where he has really evolved as a run defender. There's no question about that. When he was a rookie, he was awful in that area. Even though he was getting sacks, he could not be out there and running down. Now he's a 3-down player. He can stop the run. And then last week, they totally focused on taking him away. They were, sending 2-3 guys at him every single time. He couldn't get to the quarterback. So late in the game, 3 straight plays. There's a 3rd down and 1. He stops the ball carrier in the backfield. They go for it on 4th down. He kind of dances around, forces a false start. And then when they get the ball back to Texans, he backs down a pass on a 3rd down play. He's just finding other ways to get involved and to make an impact, even if you take him away from rushing the passer. So, I mean, that is where the strength of the defense is. And the other one is Nate Hobbs, who I will make the case is absolutely a top 10 corner in the league, maybe top 5. And because he wasn't drafted very high last year, nobody really knows about him, but he is elite at this point. He's on IR now. So that's a big loss. And we saw that developing last week. He missed last week's game, and they were really exploited in the secondary. Davis Mills going for 300 yards. So this is a defense that already wasn't very good statistically, and now you take away who I think is one of the most important players. They're going to struggle. It's a work in progress for sure to try to figure out how to fill in for Nate Hobbs. But Max Crosby still being out there, I think they're at least comfortable that they have a playmaker on the field. But there's a lot of work to do for this defense.
There's you mentioned Darren Waller a little bit ago, and there's a lot of Saints fans that remember the game out in Vegas a couple of years ago, that primetime game where Darren Waller was just unguardable. What is his status for Sunday?
He's talking to him yesterday. He seems pretty confident that he's going to play. I don't know what that means or what level, because he missed almost all of training camp with a hamstring injury. He came back. He was out there a little bit. He wasn't very effective because he didn't look comfortable. And then he hurts the other hamstring against Kansas City. He misses last week's game. Now he's out there practicing. He looked, for the portion we could watch yesterday, he looked okay, but I didn't think he looked full strength. And then after practice, he said, "Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm going to play this week." But I don't think it's going to be the same Darren Waller a lot of people remember.
Special teams, people in these parts know Daniel Carlson from his time at Auburn.
Yeah.
Obviously, how's he been this year? If it comes down, the spread's 1.5. If it comes down to a kick, is the assumption, Carson's automatic?
Look, there's not a more automatic thing on this team to me than Daniel Carlson. I just wrote a feature about him a couple of weeks ago, just kind of that, the weird start he had at the beginning of his career. I think, as you mentioned, a guy who had all kinds of records in the SEC, gets drafted by the Vikings, has 2 awful games to start his career and gets cut.
Yeah.
And he has turned into the best kicker outside of Justin Tucker, I believe, in the NFL. There's an outside chance. I don't think they're going to kick 5 field goals this week, but he's 5 away from the all-time NFL record for consecutive made field goals.
It's crazy. He's 13. He's 13 of 13. It's but oddly has missed a PAT.
He has, and he's missed a couple. He's never missed a field goal at Allegiant Stadium. This is the 3rd season there. He's never missed one. It's funny. I was looking back on the streak because I'm going to obviously have a story to do as soon as he sets this record. If he does, his last missed field goal was against the Giants. Actually, it was like a 23-yarder. It was very weird, but it was tough weather conditions in that life. But this guy is he's automatic, and their operation is very good. The long snapper has been there 5 years. The holder is somebody they're very comfortable with, and the punter, A.J. Cole, the Pro Bowler. So, Daniel Carlson is as close to automatic as it gets.
November 7th, a year ago, was the last miss, as you mentioned, there at MetLife against the Giants. Look, a couple of 2-win teams in this ball game. The Saints are in a horrendous division that you look and you go, okay, well, you're a win away from leading the division with a losing record. 2-4 for the Raiders, not exactly the same in that division with Kansas City. So it feels like they're all massive right now, but can you sort of punctuate how important this game is for Las Vegas to get in New Orleans on Sunday?
Yeah, it's vital. There's no question about it. And this was, a game before the season, I think you looked at it as a toss-up. I think you still look at it as a toss-up. But it became so much more important because, those are the kind of games you say, all right, maybe we win, maybe we don't. But because they struggled early in the season, they've made these all must-win. As I mentioned, they get that 1-4 start, and then they have the 6 games. This is the second of those 6 games that everybody thinks, they need to go 5-1. Maybe 4-2 keeps you around, but 5-1 in this 6-game stretch is what the Raiders really kind of need to do. So every single one of these games is important. It's the first of 2 back-to-back games on the East Coast. I know New Orleans is not East Coast, but
sure.
We kind of called it that with the early games. But New Orleans, and they're going to stay in Florida for a week and then play Jacksonville next week. They need to go 2-0 on this trip, and if they don't, they're going to really put themselves behind the 8 ball to try to make any kind of a rally to get where they want to get in the playoff contention. So it's a very, very important game for this team. Of course, everybody is saying, hey, nobody's looking ahead to any of these games, but they know these 6 games are all 6 games they need to win. So this is one of those steps, and if they don't get it, then the other games are kind of a little more irrelevant. So they're going to be very focused, and they need to win the game. And, just like the Saints, kind of if they don't, they're putting themselves in really, really tough situations late in the season.
Hey, brother, you're coming over 2 time zones. You're coming east. Is what you're doing. Yeah. Adam Hill from ESPN Las Vegas and the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Enjoy the football and the food in the Big Easy, man. We appreciate a couple of minutes.
Can't wait. It'll be a great time.
Absolutely, always. We appreciate that. That is, again, Adam Hill, our opposing media segment there, looking at the Saints and the Raiders. All right, quick break. We'll come back. Paul Nolan makes his debut here on AFR, bottom of this hour from freewinners.net. Handing out free picks every Thursday here on AFR. We're excited. That's coming up in 15 minutes. Stick around, AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Of course, Saints, Raiders this Sunday. If you're having a game watch at noon, maybe you're heading down to the Dome and you need a place to pop in, grab yourself some lunch or a cold beverage. Of course, there's the Rouse's on Barone, where we were earlier this year. Great locations all over Louisiana. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. You can find a location near you. You can learn more about their delivery and pickup options. Download the app. Tell you all the time. Download the Rouse's app. So convenient. You download the Rouse's app. You can select your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. And then when you pull up to the designated parking spot, they bring it out to your car. You don't have to get out the car. It's that easy. It's all about making it convenient for you. They do have delivery options as well over at Rouse's. Looking for dinner for the whole family tonight on Thursday night? Man, they got so many great options. Just walk into Rouse's, go to the left. You'll see all of it available to you there. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouses.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, about 10 minutes, we'll get to Paul Nolan from freewinners.net. Excited to debut that new segment here. And start of hour 3, Miles Frazier, left guard at LSU, Cain, of course, running back, Had a chance to visit with those guys. That's coming up to start hour number 3. The Saints injury report, the only change today is that Juwan Johnson, who was a full participant Wednesday, was limited today with a hamstring injury. But a lot of the same from what we had seen. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Adam Troutman, Marshawn Lattimore all did not practice. Again, Thomas, Landry, Troutman, Lattimore. And then those that were limited, Pete, Kirkwood, Adebo, Ramchick. And those on the injury report, though, that were full, Throckmorton, Peyton Turner, and Jameis Winston, again, a full participant today. But as we know, the Saints are sticking with Andy Dalton to be the starter this weekend against the Raiders in a massive game. When Alvin Kamara met with the media yesterday, he had a really so much of this team has talked about getting their swagger back, and Kamara was asked about what he told the team whenever they talked, and he reiterated a lot of that. But the thing that he underscored was about Drew Brees and Sean Payton and how they're gone and they're not coming back. And it was very pointed listening to Kamara say this. Give a listen.
We got the pieces, and I mean, shoot, 9 was 9. Everybody know what 9 was to this team, to this city. He's gone. I'm gonna be gone at some point. DA's gonna be gone at some point. Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis is gonna be gone at some point. It don't mean that football stops for New Orleans Saints. It's gonna keep going. So every year it's gonna be an evolution. You got new leaders arise. There's gonna be some old leaders. Like I'm still here, Cam's still here. But when they leave, when I leave, like it's gonna be somebody else that's gonna step up. So I mean, just because 9 isn't here, it don't really mean nothing. A lot of people say that, like, oh well, 9 and Sean Payton and they gone. Like shoot, I saw 9 in the locker room. I said what's up to him, but he ain't put it. He wasn't sweating. He looked good. Look good and healthy, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking off tape, bleeding, and we did that before. I did that with 9 before, but he's not in there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. So I mean, the people in this locker room are the ones that gotta step up and lead and will this team to do what we want to do.
It's kind of sobering, not surprising, something we intellectually know. Drew Brees, Sean Payton are gone. But sometimes you need something said in a very direct manner from a player like Alvin Kamara to realize it, to be able to turn that page. These Saints aren't what the Saints were. And we became so familiar with that because it was so comforting for 15 years to have Drew Brees and Sean Payton together. And that's over. So how does this organization maintain its winning culture with new players? And they're struggling with that right now, clearly. All right, it's after further review. We missed around the SEC last hour when RC was here, so we'll do that in just a second. Let me remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Hey, look, if you're looking for a vehicle for the whole family, the Atlas, the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV, that's what I drive. The third row is so easy, too. You can leave it up or down. Like a lot of times I just keep the third row down because, I just have Drew's car seat in the middle row. But we keep the third row down, so I have it for storage. And if you ever want it, just push a button and it's hydraulic, just pops right up. It's so easy. The features are amazing. The style, the feel, the performance of luxury without the cost. It's the Volkswagen Atlas. You can test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, since we missed it last hour, let's do it now quickly. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Auburn Tigers.
This is almost hard to believe. This has to be what it was like for other people, other schools looking at LSU a year ago. A 10th member of Auburn's 2021 recruiting class is leaving the program. Tavares Dawson, a former 4-star athlete, opened the season as one of their starting receivers. He announced Wednesday evening he's leaving. He's entering the transfer portal when the window opens in December. Dawson played in 5 games during his 2 seasons at Auburn. He's now the 10th member of Auburn's 2021 signing class, which was the first under Brian Harsin, to leave the Plains. 4 of the 6 4-star recruits in that class are now gone.
The Florida Gators.
Florida football will be back at full strength on the offensive line when they face number 1 Georgia Saturday in Jacksonville. Osiris Torrance, the ULL transfer, he'll be back at starting right guard. He missed the LSU game 2 weeks ago with an undisclosed injury. Then obviously Florida had their bye last week. Also, Trey Dean is still going to be starting at safety. He missed the Eastern Washington game. And Kamari Wilson, a true freshman, started in his place, but Dean back now. Even though Wilson has played exceptionally well, Dean will go back to his starting spot.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
And Vandy freshman quarterback A.J. Swan is on track to return for the Commodores game November the 5th against South Carolina. Clark Lee confirming that news. Swan left Saturday's game against Missouri in the third quarter with an injury after a strip sack. He was replaced by backup Mike Wright. The Commodores lost that game 17-14. They have an open date this week before they face the Gamecocks a week from Saturday. Also, running back Chase Gillespie, missed the Missouri game with an undisclosed injury. And fellow backs Ray Davis and Patrick Smith both went down with injuries during that game. According to Clark Lee, all three could potentially be back for the game against South Carolina. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products. Online, gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale, that's what you always get from our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. Again, you know where to find them, gcopnet.com. A national leader among Savin dealers. But they proudly sell the Savin line, but they will service all makes and models. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. We shared this news with you last hour, but for those maybe just jumping in the car, truck or van, knocking off of work, just finding us on YouTube. Adam Schefter, a little less than an hour ago, confirmed Jamar Chase, hip injury, is expected to sideline him 4 to 6 weeks. He could be a candidate for IR. Of course, if you go to IR, you are guaranteed to miss 4 weeks. Chase visited a hip specialist on Wednesday. He's seeking more answers about the injury, but he will miss this game and could very well miss up to 6 weeks. He injured the hip against the Saints, aggravated it last week, and now is out 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll keep you posted on Jamar if, in fact, he does hit IR. I mean, I hate for any guy to get injured, especially former Tiger, but my goodness, it would have been nice if he could have missed the fourth quarter against the Saints. Anyway. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. About 15 minutes, Musso will have Tigers in the pros. Again, to start hour 3, Miles Frazier, Noah Cain, our conversation with the LSU offensive lineman and running back. When we come back, though, I'm excited about this. Paul Nolan, freewinners.net, one of the most respected NFL handicappers in the business from freewinners.net. We're going to start a weekly segment with Paul at 4:30, bottom of hour 2, on Thursdays to give you some picks. So that's coming up next here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, we mentioned Miles Frazier and Noah Cain. They're going to be with us on behalf of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys because Noah Cain, Miles Frazier, part of the Go Pink initiative from this past weekend where, of course, the NIL deals that Gordon has done with the Get Gordon athletes for every major stat, every big play that they made, Gordon made donations on behalf of those athletes to 3 great breast cancer awareness charities all across Louisiana. And the tally is in. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys donated $14,000. $14,000 to great breast cancer awareness charities around the state of Louisiana. And today they presented a check for over $7,500 to Mary Brett Perkins right here in Baton Rouge. Tell you all the time, if you're injured, get Gordon, get it done. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say that we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR. I'm pretty psyched about this. You know, we've had great partners here on the show at DraftKings, especially with sports betting live in Louisiana. We've had a lot of sports betting content. Of course, Jimmy does a great job. We always appreciate Otter for coming aboard. Had the opportunity to get Paul Nolan to join us weekly on AFR, and I jumped at the opportunity. Paul from freewinners.net. You've heard him with Odd. You've heard him on so many national shows all over the place. And he gives out free picks as well. You could text the word free to 313-GET-INFO, 313-GET-INFO. Paul's going to join us on Thursdays here to handicap Thursday Night Football and some of the other big games from the football weekend. He joins us now from his studios on the East Coast. Paul, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. Glad to be here. Just a little bit concerned. Jimmy Ott's going to be jealous. I know how much he likes me.
Don't worry. I'll take care of the Ott father, all right? It's the least guy in the world I'm worried about right now.
All right.
Hey, man, I want to start by introducing you to our audience, maybe for those that aren't familiar with you, what you do. If I say, man, who's Paul Nolan? How does he fit into the sports handicapping space? What do you say?
You know, I've just been in the game my whole life. You know, I've just always loved the I just love the mind bend of handicapping, especially the NFL. You know, there's so much nuance. There's so many layers of the onion to peel back, and it's really good for my OCD. It's good for my mental issues, and it just fits in for what I love to do. And you know, to me, I just love the process. You know, and I'm a creature of habit, so I'm really rigid with those habits. So, you know, when I get up, you know, and my Monday routine is so simple. I get up super early and I start rewatching every game, and I'm making my own lines, and you know, I watch everything on Sundays, and I take notes as I go, and then I take notes during each game, and it's, you know, you have help doing that. And it's always fun to look back and try to dissect what made sense and what was, you know, an anomaly, what was unsustainable. I love the way numbers always kind of regress back to their mean. And I think the most important thing is that if you want to know who I am, is I'm a guy who just genuinely loves the NFL, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world because this is how I make my living.
That's pretty cool, man. Hey, we got a really good slate ahead, but before we talk about Thursday Night Football in particular and some of the games from this weekend, one of the things that I would really love to know, and following your content for a while, I know as you talk about sports, not necessarily betting or gambling, but sports investing, you try to do a really good job of educating people of how to sports bet and not necessarily just throwing out a winner. So, I mean, you've even explained to me before, like, how you maybe 1% or 3%, what you put down a game. How do you, if you were trying to give people sort of an entry-level education into how to sports bet, what would you tell them?
Well, sports betting 101, I would just say always treat it like you go into a blackjack table. If you're going to sit down at a blackjack table with $1,000 and you want it to last the next 4 or 5 hours of the night or the weekend, you want to play 1%, 3%, 5%. And it's also how the cards are going. When the cards are rolling, you might want to press it a little bit to the 5%, maybe sometimes be a little more aggressive. But you really don't even have to do that when the cards are going well. You're obviously going to be splitting your eights and doubling into, situations. So for me, I'm trying to ask guys to take that same mental approach. Just longevity matters. And especially from my perspective, when customers want just one free pick, and if I win that game, great, but they think he might have got lucky. I lose that pick and I'm a leper. So, it's so important. It's so important to for the guys to zoom out and see a macro. That's why I love guys getting involved with the 30-day programs, just because I don't have to rush it. I can show them what I'm about, and they get to, really get a look at, even when I lose, they'll see that game probably should have won if they roll back and look at some of the unpredictable things like fumbles. Fumbles simply can't. There's no mathematical equation on fumbles. It's just a matter of luck and regression to a mean. So you'll see it year in, year out. Like one team will be so great in turnovers, and the next year none. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that stops us from really hitting above 70% long term, is because there's too much unpredictability and just too much randomness of the turnovers.
Paul Nolan is with us, as he will be every Thursday here in the bottom of hour number 2, freewinners.net. If you want the free picks, you can text FREE, text the word FREE to 313-GET-INFO, 313-438-4636. There's a 6-pack that Paul's going to give you for free this weekend. But first, Paul, let's talk about tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, Baltimore at Tampa. Man, I first want to ask about how difficult it is to handicap a Thursday night game when you're talking about short rest, travel, all that sort of stuff. How much does that factor in whenever you're looking at Thursday Night Football?
All the time, it even factors in, when you look at, I'll always have my schedule when I do my line sheet. I'm seeing who's got a game this Sunday on Thursday deck, because teams are trying to prepare for 2 teams at the same time. It really does affect practice schedules, and these guys are all creatures of routine as well. They love their habits and they love to follow them. And when you have to, prepare for 2 teams, especially like last week, we felt like that was a desperate spot. Carolina had nothing to lose. Tampa Bay could just lace them up in their minds and win. You see that, Mike Evans drop a ball to start that game. It just looked like a team mentally not ready, looking ahead, thinking, they could just lace them up and win. And they were looking ahead perhaps to a Baltimore team that is, a much bigger fish to fry, so to speak. So, and obviously there could be the distractions in Tampa's world right now are definitely something to factor in. And there's definitely something going on in that locker room. You just wonder if there are resentments towards, Brady not being there in preseason for the whole time, taking a Saturday off where, we had a family wedding to go to before instead of a walkthrough. Little things like that can irk guys the wrong way if things aren't going well. He has earned that right, so I don't want to pass judgment on that just yet. If it was a Baker Mayfield doing something like that, I think it would be a much bigger issue. But I do think that the Thursday night has to be handicapped differently. We see so many of these games going under and so many poorly played games because teams just simply aren't as prepared. I think that's evident.
So when we look at this ball game tonight, but I'm looking at a line. Is this the current line? Is Bucks -2? So Tampa's favored by 2 at home right now. What do you think about the game tonight?
Well, I don't really love this game tonight, but I'm definitely going to play Tampa Bay small, a 1% bet. I think they were looking ahead to this game. I do think there's enough leadership in that locker room and enough success in that locker room to right this ship, despite whatever egos, if there is issues going on. I do think that Calais Campbell being out makes a difference. One of the things Brady does is gets the ball out of his hands quickly. He really suffers from interior pressure. With Calais Campbell out, he's a really effective interior rusher, and we know that the offensive line for Tampa Bay has really struggled with injuries. They are getting a little more continuity now. We're seeing them get a little bit better. I think that's going to be an issue that's going to give this team a little breathing room, and I cannot see the drops this week. I just don't see it happening. I just think Tampa Bay is in a perfect bounce-back situation that plays on teams, that are coming off a loss as a big road favorite. They tend to bounce back in these situations, so I'm comfortable taking Tampa Bay as a free pick for your audience.
There's a couple. So Paul's giving you Tampa -2, so small play there. Paul called it a 1%er. Tampa -2 tonight. A couple more from the Sunday slate that we wanted to talk about. Miami is at Detroit. Man, Paul, Detroit's been a team that feels so close, right? They're so close. They can't get over the hump. And people here, know Dan Campbell from his time in New Orleans, kind of love the guy, the bravado, the energy. And then here comes Tua and the Dolphins as a 3.5-point road favorite in Detroit. Detroit's trying to get over the hump, but Miami's in the thick of things at 4-3 right now. Do you think the Dolphins can get on track and get it rolling?
Yeah, it's I think it's kind of an interesting spot because you're right. Dan Campbell's got that. Like if this was Viking times, he'd have a clan. People, he's like one of those guys. You just love him. You follow him, and I'd be the little guy saying, "Boss, maybe we should try this," trying to be clever. I think that when you watch with Goff, the first start of that season, that first month, he was so accurate. He had so many tight window throws. He was so efficient within that offense. Then he loses. St. Brown, that was devastating. Even last week, they should have probably covered or even won against Dallas, except for, Diggs makes that incredible torquing interception. Then there was the incredible play by Micah Parsons at the 1, and then they fumble going in. The EPA expected points added on that fumble at the goal line was devastating from a mathematical perspective. This is a good spot really for Detroit to get right if you think about it because, Detroit desperately needs this game as well. They do love their coach, but they're going against the secondary that is pretty darn bad in Miami. I expected more out of the secondary, and now they lose their starting safety, Brandon Jones, who's pretty good with an ACL. I don't know what to expect out of Mike Rowe this week, and I think that based on his past performance, not very good. He's really been a below expectation player for about 8 or 9 years now. So I just don't see him rising to the occasion. So I do see Goff being able to get points. I think this offense will stay on schedule. But conversely, I also feel like Detroit's pass D, their pass D is like hold my beer. We have a 105 quarterback rating against. We're giving up 70% completions. We've given up 9 TDs, only 2 interceptions. Both teams are going to be able to run the ball, I believe, this week as well. I like this game to go over. I think this is a good value. I set my line on this one at 51. I think this is a good. I think this is a good, solid play on an over on this one. I think it's a fair value.
Okay. I'm looking at 51.5, so it's 51.5. So Paul likes the over in the Miami-Detroit game. Give you one more. Want to remind you as well, you can get Paul's 6-pack. He's giving it to our audience for free this weekend. Text the word free to 313-GET-INFO. Again, text the word free, F-R-E-E, to 313-GET-INFO. Paul, I'm looking at the 6 games that the audience get. So it's 3 college, 3 pro. It's Penn State, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then the Sunday games are Raiders, Saints, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Bills. I'm going to get a thought on Raiders, Saints from you in just a second. Let me go, though, to the other. Jimmy Yacht just walked in the room. Hey, get out of here, Otto. Get out of here.
Is Jimmy jealous?
Get out of here, Otto. You can talk to him later.
Tell Jimmy this doesn't change anything between he and I.
Paul said this doesn't change anything between he and I. I'm guest poaching here is what I'm doing. So the other one, though, Giants and Seattle. Paul, the Giants are one of the most fascinating stories in the league this year, man. What Brian Daboll has that team doing right now at 6-1 with Daniel Jones at quarterback, is just stunning. But, man, Seattle's at 4-3. Looking for a little bounce back there under Pete Carroll. Seattle's at home. Tough place to play. Seattle's a 3-point favorite. I mean, I keep wanting to bet against the Giants. They keep burning me. So should everybody just jump on the Giants bandwagon here?
You know, it's funny you said that. Last week, I had a really good week last week. I had one of my losses, though, was, with Jacksonville going against the Giants again. And, I went against it. And I am going to go against them here. I bet them early in the week. I laid 122 on a pick'em number. The line has gone up to 3. I thought the line was a mistake from Jump Street. One of the things I wanted to talk about with this game was we talk about like the Giants being the worst 6-1. We hear a lot of that, and maybe they are a 4-3 team when you look at it. It's very possible, and as is Seattle right now. But what both of these teams have in common is great coaching, stout running game, and most importantly, a locker room that's connected and care for one another. Guys look at Geno like, guys get to 31 years old. He never stopped working his butt off to be a starting quarterback. He kept believing he belonged in that role. Often we see guys at that age say, I'm going to be another 10 years as a backup. I'll come and I'll get out. I'll make a great living. I'll keep my brain healthy. I'll keep my body healthy. I'm not going to keep chasing the street, but he never stopped working. And guys really respect him. Kenneth Walker comes in for Rashad Penny, who's as good as it gets, Rashad Penny. And Ken Walker's just even better. I mean, he ran a 4.2 at the Combine. He ran 22 miles on a 69-yard run in his first start. He's just kept getting better as the game went on. He had one gaffe last week, and he came right back and with fury. The kid's just got that X factor of competitiveness that I love. Losing DK Metcalf doesn't concern me all that much because he wasn't in the offense, but there's a Giant defense that loves to play man. 51% of their plays, they'll go to man coverage, and Metcalf really is a good man guy. Tyler Lockett feasts on zone. That's the one place I'm afraid I might have a little bit of an issue. But I do think Seattle's going to find a way to cover because there is an issue here with weather, and I think Geno can handle the weather. There's a lot of rain and 15-mile-an-hour winds. My weather metrics start at 15. Okay. If this gets to 20, it strengthens my play on Seattle.
Okay. Paul Nolan, freewinners.net. Again, you can get the 6-pack for free for our audience this weekend if you text the word free to 313-GET-INFO. That's 313-GET-INFO. But Paul gave you 3 picks here tonight. He likes Tampa Bay laying the 2. On Sunday, he likes the Miami-Detroit over, and he does like Seattle laying the 3 at home against the Giants. Hey, Paul, when people text the word free to 313-GET-INFO, how does that work for people? Like, what's going to happen for them?
We're just going to text back the free picks for Saturday. We'll text back really, we'll reiterate that we have Tampa tonight. Some guys who are driving, if they forget, we'll let them know they have the Tampa game tonight. And then we'll on Sunday, we'll text them free winners for Sunday as well. I'd rather wait Sunday morning because all the value's out. I get to see the best injury reports and latest weather. Things change. It affects our metrics. It makes the games tighter and sharper. Our best value games really do come, like, for example, Seattle, I bet money line on Monday, laying 122. If that went to 3.5 with the weather, I have a chance to come back and bet 10% or 20% on the Giants plus 3.5 if it gets there. And it gives me an opportunity for a middle, which is a really great way to hedge and protect your investments. And it's just simply a way to put greater value on a game and decreasing your risk exposure. So it's just a technique we like to use. If we could push a line, we want to bully the bookies back the other way at times. It's just we have that power now because we have such a great following.
You can look. I mean, it does contribute to line movement. You can understand why. You can just bet smarter. Freewinners.net. We appreciate Paul for joining us. He's going to break down games for us. He was going to give you picks here on the show, and of course, we'll send you to Paul. You can text the word free to 313-GET-INFO. Again, text the word free, F-R-E-E, to 313-GET-INFO. Paul Nolan from freewinners.net. Paul, it's fun, man. We're looking forward to doing it each week, man. Thanks for the time today.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I want your audience to know I really do feel great about these games this weekend. It's a great opportunity for us to get to know them and share the best info we have with them.
We're looking forward to doing it every week, Paul. Have a great weekend. Good luck.
You too. Thank you.
I mean, we appreciate it. That's Paul Nolan from freewinners.net. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. You know where to find them. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. Still in so many places, y'all, it is cheaper right now to own than it is to rent. So stop paying rent. Start building equity. Build wealth with GMFS Mortgage. Online at GMFSmortgage.com. Tap the loan officers tab. Find a local loan officer near you. You know how to do it. It's GMFS Mortgage. Find that local loan officer near you, and they'll get you started toward that process of home ownership. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break. We'll come back. Muse will have Tigers in the pros, and then coming up right after the top of the hour, Noah Cain and Miles Frazier from LSU will join us. Looking forward to it and glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Boy, Thursday night football, what better opportunity to get by Pluckers than tonight? Well, really, any night would be a great opportunity to get by Pluckers, but you do have Thursday night football. You want to get by Pluckers tonight? All-you-can-eat boneless buffalo bites. Pay one low price, stay for the entire game or all night long, and eat all-you-can-eat boneless buffalo bites. That's every Thursday at both Pluckers location. Nicholson just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Man, you got an NFL game tonight, as we just talked about. You got the Ravens and the Bucks, a huge, huge spot if you're a Saints fan. Man, you are pulling hard for Baltimore tonight. But you want to watch it? You can. World Series starts tomorrow. You got a college football weekend ahead. You got college football tonight. If you need a place to watch, Pluckers is the best place. If you're staying in, don't worry. They'll deliver Uber Eats or DoorDash. Just punch up the Uber Eats or DoorDash app. Have your Pluckers delivered to you. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. It's Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime, Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime, Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
News of the day in the NFL, Jamar Chase out 4 to 6 weeks for the Cincinnati Bengals, a hip injury likely to land on IR. Ian Rappaport reports no surgery needed, just rest and recovery. NBA action last night, Ben Simmons, he didn't foul out. He did commit 4 fouls, but didn't foul out. Played 34 minutes, 4 points, 9 assists, nary a three-point attempt. Timberwolves, Naz Reid, 2 points in 5 minutes off the bench. And then Tari Eason last night with the Rockets off the bench as well. 23 minutes, 3 points, and 6 boards. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of popping the question, no better place to go. Where Baton Rouge has gone to get engaged for 40 years. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Miles Frazier, Noah Cain, next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. I want to keep reminding you about siding, of course. When you go to ReliefWindows.com, you can see all of their siding options. You could effectively have a completely new exterior of your home in about 2 weeks' time if you contact Relief Windows right now. Siding, vinyl siding, and hardy plank, it's a great option. It can make your home more energy efficient. It's weatherproof. It's fireproof as well. Learn more at ReliefWindows.com. It comes finished in your favorite color, whichever color you want, ReliefWindows.com. Or you can walk into their gorgeous state-of-the-art showroom on Airline Highway in Prairie Grove. Go south past 42, just a few hundred yards on the right. You can't miss it. It's Relief Windows. 288-8138 for Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Experience, quality, and service. Relief Windows.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. The Bengals' top receiver, Jamar Chase, not at practice today and could miss 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury. He got hurt initially in Week 6 against the Saints. Chase has already seen a specialist and is still getting second opinions. NFL Week 8 kicks off tonight in Tampa. The 3-4 Buccaneers hosting the 4-3 Ravens. Former Ravens running back Justin Forsett says the team's record could be even better.
Man, just not finishing, not executing in the crunch time, in the moments when it count. In the fourth quarter, you see they're playing well for 3 quarters, and then they just fall off and or take the foot off the gas pedal at the end of the game, and it's been costing them.
Justin Forsett on KJ and Max. Bucs defensive lineman Akeem Hicks out for the 6th game in a row with a foot injury. This game just the 2nd time Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson play against each other. Patriots coach Bill Belichick confirms today Mac Jones is now fully recovered from a high ankle sprain, and he's ready to start Sunday's game against the Jets.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Been a great show, man. You missed any of it. RC was in studio with us, hour number 1. Went out to Vegas, chatted with Adam Hill, who covers the Raiders. Paul Nolan from freewinners.net kicked off his debut segment with us, which will be weekly, bottom of hour 2 on Thursdays. He will give you picks, and you can text his line to get more free picks at freewinners.net. And Mike Triplett's going to come at the bottom of this hour. We'll talk some Saints, as we always do. But had a chance, courtesy of our mutual partners at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, Get Gordon, get it done, to visit with a couple of Get Gordon athletes today. Miles Frazier, Noah Cain. Because of their class and workout schedule, we visited with them earlier today, but it was a thrill and a great opportunity to chat with the 2 transfers, the offensive lineman, the running back, Miles Frazier and Noah Cain. LSU heads into its bye week, 6-2, 4-1 in the league. Feeling good, getting ready for Alabama to come into Tiger Stadium a week from Saturday. You know, here on AFR, we've been great partners with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Did an awesome thing this past week, which is carried on. It was their Playing for Pink initiative through Gordon Gives. Every one of the Get Gordon athletes that they've done NIL deals with, for every stat, every big play, that unlock donations to great breast cancer awareness charities around the state of Louisiana. We're thrilled to have a couple of Get Gordon athletes in studio with us right now. It's Miles Frazier. It's Noah Cain. Guys, good to have you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How you doing? Happy to be here, man.
Man, I'm doing great. I'd imagine y'all are doing pretty good as well, man.
Definitely.
I mean, heading into this bye week, it's 6-2 off of 2 really big wins the last couple weeks. Miles, let me start with you, man. What's like? Obviously, it's your first year right now, but what's the vibe like right now? It's 6-2, 4-1. People are excited. What's it like in the locker room?
It's really just how I expected. So, like, when I had committed here, I had the other options or whatever. But what drew me was Coach Kelly. and Coach Davis's dream that they had that not a lot of people around the country could see, but now it's coming to like life. So basically, everyone in the locker room believed it. With all the transfers, new guys, we all just like kind of gelled together very, very quickly in like the springtime, summertime. So like the locker room, everything we're doing now, we expected to do. Not like trying to be cocky, but like we expected to do, and that's like the standard. Like we're trying to get LSU back to how it was.
You know, Noah, I'll turn to you. You're a guy who knows this area well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're from Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
You kind of detoured to Dallas, then IMG, then to Penn State, now back home. But you told me your family's here, right?
Yes,
your
sir.
family's still here. So
Yeah.
for you to be back home wearing the purple and gold, what's that meant for you up until this point of the season?
Nah, yeah, man, it's been great. It's been a privilege to play for LSU, and just be able to, be around top athletes, man. Just be able to, play for the purple and gold and for the Tigers. This is a blessing. It's something I don't take for granted, and just the opportunity to play for LSU and be able to contribute and make plays for the team. You can't take that for granted because there's a lot of the people that die to be in that position. So it's a blessing for real.
I want to talk about the season at this point, what's ahead as well. It is really cool that y'all are here. We're all partners with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys,
Yes,
and Get Gordon. The Go Pink initiative is awesome. My mom, my aunt are both breast cancer survivors, so I'm always really drawn to breast cancer charities. So the fact that y'all got to be involved is pretty cool. So when you all heard, I'll start with you, Miles. When you all heard that this was going to be part of an initiative that you were all going to be able to participate in, what did you think of that?
It's just a blessing, like for real. Like basically, it's hard to get to where I'm at and not give back. So like basically, the giving back aspect is just something that's like required, like not really forced, but it's required. So just giving it, like having a chance to do something special, is just what it's all about, type thing.
Yeah.
I like inspiring others, giving back, just doing as much as you can with the platform that we have.
Yeah. No, what did you think about the opportunity to work with Gordon, to be a Gordon athlete?
Yeah, and when I first came down here, I started learning more and more about his injury attorney law firm and the people he represents, and just when I first met him, I could just tell, man, he had a very good vibe to him, and when he was talking more and more, it's just like he's just trying to get wisdom as well. So he's almost like, this isn't just about NIL or business. I can also be a mentor to you as well. So it just wasn't about the business. So, just for him to extend that hand, like, if you need something outside of this, or if you're trying to learn something, like, he offered that helping hand. That's just a blessing as well. Just be able to network with people on the level that he's on. It's just great, that he has our back, and, it's just trying to help us navigate through life. So it's real cool working with him.
I'm sure you all know, but the number, it's over $14,000 that the Gordon Gives arm through all the Go Pink initiative raised for these charities. Over $7,000 from Mary Bird Perkins here in Baton Rouge. And did you all get to do the check presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was good. Just like I said, giving back. We had like some of our other athletes with us, like that are signed with Gordon, and it was like a good little fellowship, like just good picture, just really giving back.
Yeah, man, $14,000 was the total donation across the state. $7,550 in Baton Rouge to Mary Bird Perkins, which is awesome to see that. And you all kind of helped unlock that, because the way it worked was for big plays or stats, it unlocked donations. So, man, the offensive line, the last 2 weeks, and especially that second half against Ole Miss, was incredible, man. Like, when and it's been a bit of a revolving door, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's 6 different line combinations through 8 games.
Yes, sir.
In a unit where 5 have to play as one. When, or have you all kind of felt like you've started to gel?
Yes, sir. So basically, when it first had started, like everything was rough. People were playing out of position, like different positions. We were trying to figure out like what the identity of the group. But the identity of the group is like how you just said, 5 to 1. So we're just trying to just mold it into like one really situation. Like one person doesn't think they're better than the other. We all try to work together, have each other's back, because the person to the right and left of you, that's the only person you can count on other than yourself in the game to get the job done. Yeah. So, yeah, just like that.
When you all so I mean, I was pretty forthright on air last week that I thought you all would beat Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really good matchup that favored you all. Did you all internally feel? No, let me ask you. Like, Did you all internally, like in your locker, look at Miles smiling. Did y'all know that game was kind of going to go the way that it did? That y'all really felt y'all had a plan and y'all probably matched up well against that team?
Yeah, the thing I really feel about our whole team, and it's something I've noticed since camp, and getting to know everybody is like, everybody is just like ready to prove themselves right. Everybody has so much ambition, especially how last season went. Everybody has so much motivation to go out there and ball and handle business, and like we don't really care about the environment. If we losing, we just want to like go out there and ball, contribute, and help our team win. And I think that's just the mentality our team has. We just want to go out there each play and just dominate and make plays and have fun. And I think we don't get too nervous either. Like when we on the road or we at home games, we just another game, let's get it. It's straight, it's work. So I mean, I think that's the attitude that the whole team has. Is the stage isn't too big for us.
Miles Frazier, Noah Cain. We broke up our conversation into two parts. We did preview the LSU-Alabama game with them, talked about what's clicking so well in the offense, getting a little bit of a look ahead to LSU-Alabama a week from Saturday in Tiger Stadium. That part of the conversation, when we continue, we're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. 29 offices across 11 different states. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They are an ISO 17025 accredited laboratory, and what Michelli does is it makes your business more efficient. They will service all scale and measurement equipments. So go to the website, Michelli.com. You can hit the services tab. You can hit the industries tab to see what industries they service. They help diminish waste, increase efficiency, ensure quality control. It's all at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. And if you're looking for work, why not go to work for a business that's been around for 75 years? It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, online at Michelli.com, Michelli.com. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Mike Triplett at the bottom of this hour. If you haven't heard the news, there has been, certainly yesterday we learned Andy Dalton is going to start for the New Orleans Saints this weekend, but there have been reports about Jameis having actually a ruptured tendon in his foot. We're going to get into all of that with Mike Triplett at the bottom of this hour. But our conversation with Miles Frazier and Noah Cain, a couple of Get Gordon athletes, that continues when we continue on AFR.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. You go to the website, lainsurance.net. That's lainsurance.net. Hit the quotes tab at the top of the page, fill out a little info, and they will get cranking, finding you better coverage for less money. Two things that are most important to remember. Number one, so many of us are overpaying and underinsured. And the company that you have presently, if you're with State Farm or Allstate or Liberty Mutual, whoever it may be, your local agent can only get you rates from that parent company. At Insurance Network of Louisiana, they can shop dozens of the top-rated companies to get you the best coverage for the least amount of money. That's one. Two, Insurance Network of Louisiana becomes your agent. So when I was switching, they handled all of that for me. They would call me. I would give a verbal approval if they could act on my behalf. And then I hung up, and they took care of everything. They're phenomenal. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Online, lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Continue our conversation with LSU offensive lineman Miles Frazier and running back Noah Cain. A couple of Get Gordon athletes did a great thing as part of the Gordon Gives and the Go Pink initiative, raising more than $14,000 for breast cancer charities throughout the state of Louisiana. We do talk a little bit about LSU, Alabama, but as we continue our conversation, had to touch on these slow starts for the Tigers. Y'all get down in every game. This is crazy. Like every game, you down 17 to Ole Miss, down 13 to Mississippi State, down 17-3 to Ole Miss. Auburn was 17-0. Like, what is the mood like whenever? By the way, it would be really nice if y'all could just take control at the beginning for one of these games. But whenever y'all get down, what's the vibe like? I mean, how are you all able to not be fazed by that?
I would say I could take this one. I would say just the preparation. Like, we always over-prepare for moments like this. So, like, we know that games are in our favor. If they're not in our favor, games could be in favor. We just never, we just outwork. Like, our practices really define how we play. Like, if we practice good, we play excellent. So, like, it's just basically going from practice to taking everything, the tools that we learn, the techniques, different things like that into the game. And then basically we can just have the confidence level of knowing that we believe in each other, we believe in our coaching staff, we just believe in that we can get it done. So, like, for the Ole Miss game in particular, we all came into that game with a mindset, even though they were undefeated, ranked number 7, like, we feel like we're LSU, so, like, we can compete with anybody. So, like, basically, that's what I would say.
Yeah, you smiled a little bit whenever I was setting that up a minute ago. Like, it really felt like going into that game, y'all knew y'all were better. Like, yes, and it was gonna play out the way that it did. You know, I also want to ask too, because you brought up an interesting. Both of you guys have interesting paths, having gone the transfer route, which is just it's part of the culture of college football now. Yes, it's just what it is. I mean, the transfer portal's there, and guys are gonna be able to take advantage of it. But Miles, if I'm not mistaken, you tell me if I'm wrong. This is your third head coach in 3 years, right? Because you were there for the last year, Butch Davis.
No, I was there. This is my second head coach.
So you there for Mike McIntyre for 2 years?
No, I wasn't there with Mac McIntyre. Coach Davis was there for 2 years.
Okay.
When I was there, and then now I'm at.
Okay, so you missed McIntyre. So you're there with Davis for 2 years, now with Brian Kelly, and you obviously were coached by James Franklin at Penn State. It's interesting whenever I had the chance to talk to guys that were at LSU a year ago, because I can ask the question about, like, comparing and contrasting what it was like with Ed Ogeron here and now with Brian Kelly. But it's even more interesting, I think, when you can talk to guys who came from another place. So based on what your expectation was or what your perception was of Brian Kelly and LSU, what was it then, and how does it map to what you've experienced? Miles, we'll start with you.
So basically, I knew Brian Kelly's resume and just different things like that, I just knew like it was a right fit for me. But I came in with high expectations, but I didn't know we were gonna work this hard. This is the hardest. Like me and my friend Makai, we always talk about like we work hard, like, and there's no like if ands or buts about it. But one of my friends, Mike Jones, said one time that like because he came from Clemson,
yeah.
So he said like he sees what with Coach Kelly's staff like similar things to when he was at Clemson winning really big. So like he said everything basically is similar to like great programs. So like the little things, the building habits, building like strategizing different things, using the technological advances with like the catapult system, different things, like everything here is the best of the best. So that helps us in turn become like one of the best.
Yeah. No, what do you think? How does it maybe compare, contrast to being at Penn State, being here?
Yeah, man. LSU is a program that I was very familiar with before I had with the Penn State. It was me being from Louisiana, so I kind of already knew like the foundation that's already set in the program is like striving for greatness, and just the track record that they have of just developing guys into being pros and being great players at the next level. It's no secret, and I just feel like when I got here in the summertime, I can just tell like Miles has said, the structure that they have in place for us. If you follow it and you abide by it, it's eventually gonna pay off for you. At some point, you never know, but like it's just a process of just challenging yourself every day to get better. And that Coach Kelly's real big on our mental. Like he said, how are you thinking right now? If you're thinking like you ain't gonna play hard, you're not gonna play hard. So they're just real big on us having like positive self-talk to ourselves, so we can continue to to make ourselves better, make our teammates better. Because at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't matter what happened last week or yesterday. You got to keep moving forward.
Noah Cain and Miles Frazier are with us on behalf of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon Athletes, get Gordon, and get it done. I want to go rapid fire while we have a couple of minutes left. Who's the guy? No, I'll start with you. Who's the guy defensively that turns your head? You go, man, look at that guy. Like, I can't believe you do that.
You talking about on our team?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, on your team. Yeah.
Probably, man, Harold Perkins, man.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, Harold.
What about you?
I would say Makai, Wingo. It's like, so like when I first had got here, like we were going back and forth, and then like I wasn't really getting movement off the ball versus him, and my coach was like, "What are you doing? Like he's small, like move him," because he went to Oklahoma and he was in like the traditional like going against bigger guys and stuff like that. But I would always tell him like it's not as easy as you see, like it seems. And then he won the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. And like he's now showing everyone that like it's not just about like your size. Like he gets looked at upon down because of his size all the time, but he overachieves definitely.
Especially considering he replaced Mason.
Yes, sir.
And Mason's a giant.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Mason's like that.
You couldn't have two different players stylistically, but man, the way Makai stepped in. I mean, after the first defensive series of the season when Mason got hurt. It's incredible, like that you just haven't had the drop off. He's had an awesome year. I want to ask you each about your position coach as well. You mentioned Brad Davis. What's been your experience learning under Brad Davis?
It was a good one. He like his expectation is just through the roof. So like he always says, we'll beat a team by a lot. Like we beat Florida, Ole Miss by a good amount, and he always says we have room for improvement. So like whether we lose, win, draw, tie, he's gonna have that same expectation for not just the starters, but the second string, the walk-ons, the scout team, different things like that. It's just his expectation is none that I've ever like seen. Basically.
Yeah. No. What about Frank Wilson?
Yeah, man. It's honestly been a blessing, man. Just being able to be under his mentorship and leadership. It's been a great thing to be a part of, and especially since I've gotten here. Just getting used to his coaching philosophy, and just him helping me build better habits, be a better player. It's helped me a lot, man, on and off the field. And I think like with all the running backs can speak for him as well. Like he has such an old school soul.
Yeah.
So like he's real big on poems. So he's just real big as well, just like on motivating our mind. Motivate the mind, the body will follow. That's something he always tells us. So like I just think, man, just the way he mentors us and leads us, like to motivate our mind every day and just to give us little things to help us keep having that right mindset and positive attitude. It helps us just get better.
Frank reads you poetry?
Yeah, he'd have poems on like the screen before we start a meeting. So like, man, that's why I say he got an old soul. And then like, but they all like correlate to whatever, you know, if someone's slacking or dragging that day, they all correlate to whatever somebody may be going through. So it just helps you just like, you know, have the right mindset, you know, going into the day.
That's great. Was y'all reading Shakespeare? What are y'all
Nah,
doing?
man. He had the what poem was it? It was I had to show it to you after the.
You got like Edgar Allan Poe in there and all this sort of
Nah,
stuff?
he had a few poems up there though. Or he'd just recite them out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like we'd be talking, he'd recite a poem. You like, what are we talking about? Like real talk. It's cool though, cause like you'll learn a lot of stuff. So nah, it's definitely been fun, man, being with Coach Fred.
You guys have one more. You guys have the bye week, obviously, before Alabama comes in. It'll be your first opportunity to play Alabama. It's a huge thing around here, as you know. Miles, how are you going to spend the bye, and sort of what's your expectation for what's going to be like Saturday night against Alabama?
Well, I think we're going to do as good as like the work that we put in. You're going to see it, type thing like that. So everything's going to come into fruition. Basically, we're going to prepare the same way. We're not going to change really anything like that just because it's Alabama. But we're just gonna stick to our plan, follow our habits, everything that we've been doing from the jump, because we believe in the system that we're in. So basically, we're just gonna follow everything by a T, really be like very like attentional to the details and stuff like that, and then that's how we're gonna take it. So.
No, what about me? You got you returning kicks last week.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna keep doing that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's something you did throughout school, I would assume.
Yeah,
So it's like the really fast athletic guys. Hey, go catch the ball and run.
Yeah, when I was younger, definitely played that a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You excited for an opportunity to play Bama?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. You know, like I said, like Miles said, man, it's just the way we prepare. It's all about us, and the stage is never too big for us, so we're gonna be ready to go.
Noah Cain, Miles Frazier. Make sure you follow these guys on all the social channels. Of course, we're thrilled to be partnered with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Tell you all the time, get Gordon, get it done. Go to getgordon.com. And because of these guys' efforts Saturday against Ole Miss, Gordon was able to unlock more than $14,000 in donations for breast cancer research and to breast cancer charities around Louisiana. So, guys, thanks for your time today. Thanks for the great work and for the partnership as well with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Appreciate it, man. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Miles Frazier and Noah Cain, we do appreciate their time. We certainly appreciate our friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Tell you, get Gordon and get it done. All right, Mike Triplett is going to join us. Mike was good enough to bump just a segment back. So we'll talk Saints, Raiders. Can the Saints save their season? What are they doing with Andy Dalton? Is Jameis ever coming back? We'll dive into all of it with Mike Triplett of New Orleans.football next.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darin, James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
How about this 5-star review at Rate My Agent? Says Darin and his team were extremely helpful with the entire process and made sure to keep me updated every step of the way. I felt confident using Darin due to the high number of recommendations, but he still exceeded my expectations. You know, when you talk to Darin and you talk about real estate, for Darin, it's all about helping you get on to whatever is next in life. If it's you're selling your home because you're moving out of town, if it's a family selling a family estate, if it's maybe you're upsizing because you got more kids or downsizing because you're an empty nester, it's all about getting to that next phase of life, and Darin James will help you, and there's nobody better. 335-7666.
Think real estate, think Darin James.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Mike!
Yeah?
Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football, presented by Benny's Car Wash, family owned and operated since 1951.
Hit you in the feels every time. Mike Triplett joins us, New Orleans Football. How are you, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Very well. Better than the Saints quarterback situation. Hey, before we talk Saints Raiders, can we sort of unpack this whole Jameis, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Why are they going with Dalton thing? I saw Nick Underhill's tweet from obviously New Orleans Football that Jameis has a torn something or other in his foot. Sounds painful.
Right.
Am I honestly to believe that dude's got a ruptured tendon in his foot and 4 broken vertebrae, but he's actually straight? Like, this is just a performance decision right now?
Well, here's the thing. This is a cliche, but no NFL player is ever fully healthy.
Absolutely.
So healthy can mean so many different things. But he is clearly healthy enough to play now because he was active for the last 2 games. They called him an emergency third quarterback the first time, but last week he was the backup. If Dalton got hurt on the first play, he would have played the whole game. He's fully participating in practice now. So he is now healthy enough to play. If the Saints were just waiting to give him his job back as soon as he was healthy, Drew Brees, for example, we heard about some other injuries we never knew about after Drew Brees' 2020 season that he was fighting through all year. If this was a Drew Brees situation, or we knew when he, broke his ribs and punctured his lung, as soon as he was ready to come back, and whatever that was, 75%, 80%, 90%, they gave the job back to Drew Brees. So Jameis has now reached the point where he would be healthy enough to reclaim his starting job if Jameis was the one they wanted to go back to. And Dennis Allen kind of clarified that Jameis could go back in now, but we're sticking with Andy Dalton. Now, the only qualifier to that is, would it be different if Jameis was 100% healthy? Would it be different if Jameis never had those kind of injuries and they didn't limit him at all? You know, that might be the answer to the question 2 weeks from now. If Andy Dalton starts to struggle, they might turn back to him. But at this point, Jameis Winston is healthy enough to at least get back on the field, and Dennis Allen is choosing not to put him out there.
So, very well said. And you did sort of allude to what my next question was going to be, which is, what would it take then for the Saints to put Jameis Winston back on the field?
It would take the offense struggling more than they are now. I wondered if the 2 pick sixes might be what it took. I mean,
right?
I wrote Thursday night that Andy Dalton was 2 quarters away from, or 2 quarters and 2 minutes away from, you know, securing the job full time. I thought because the offense has been playing a lot better, and it doesn't surprise me. The only thing that surprises me is I thought Dalton might have blown it when he threw 3 interceptions. Now, the first clue that we probably should have had is that Dennis Allen detailed why he didn't blame Dalton for either of the 2 pick sixes. The first one, he said, bounced off the receiver's hands. The second one, he said, the quarterback got hit as he threw. And that sounds like excuses, but it at least makes sense. The other point I've been saying over and over again is I actually thought maybe it would be Jameis Winston's turn. I almost just out of merit and deserving. Like, Jameis Winston's career might be done if he doesn't get back in there and get a chance to prove himself again. I think it's going to be hard for any veteran to find a job next year when all these rookies come into the NFL. So if he doesn't make it here, I don't know where else he gets an opportunity. So I don't think he's done enough to never get that opportunity again. He played with a broken back for 3 games, you know, and when he's healthy, I think he can play a lot better. But all of that being said, I see why you would want to stick with Andy Dalton. The offense has not been perfect, obviously, with the turnovers and the penalties, but they've done a lot of things really well, starting with rediscovering their run game. But they're number 1 in the NFL in points scored over the last 3 weeks. They're top 5 in pretty much every offensive category over the last 4 weeks. And there are so many things that are broken on this team that if you're Dennis Allen, the last thing you want to do is roll the dice on offense. That's one thing that is sort of on the mend right now.
Mike Triplett's with us, NewOrleans.football. We are always brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com, Benny'sCarWash.com. Learn more about the Wash Club memberships as well. You can also get a discount on gasoline when you are a Wash Club membership there at Benny's. All right, one more on quarterbacks. I don't want to talk about Saints Raiders. Am I to believe that this decision essentially suggests Jameis Winston will not be the Saints' future? And if so, what do they do?
Well, there's no way they can answer that yet. I guarantee you they want to upgrade that position in the future, but I'm not sure what they're going to find. I mean, I think we need to wait almost till week 18 of this season to know which veteran is the leading contender to be the veteran that returns next year, if either one of them. But, you know, if Dalton holds on to this job for the rest of the year, then obviously they're not bringing Jameis back next year. If Jameis regains the job in a month and finishes the season strong, maybe he will be the leader next year. But they're not going to get a top 10 pick at quarterback. I mean, unless there is a Sean Payton sweepstakes that blows all of our minds, I don't think they're going to get high enough to take the sure thing rookie. Could they trade their way up or get a Sean Payton draft pick that helps them get somebody in the Kenny Pickett range or Mac Jones range? That's possible. Or, you know, there's also the wild card possibility of there's going to be a lot of musical chairs at the quarterback position. If draft analysts say there's 5 or 6 rookies coming in the league in the top 40 picks next year, I don't know exactly who they're going to be, but there's going to be a Sam Darnold out there. There's definitely probably be a Baker Mayfield out there. There might be a Zach Wilson out there. There might be a Justin Fields out there if the Bears struggle. There's going to be some other versions of Jameis. You know, Mac Jones might be out there if Bailey Zappi wins that job. So there's going to be a lot of interesting, imperfect veterans or young players who need a second chance None of them are super enticing, but there's going to be a lot of options out there.
Mike, I mean, if you're trying to tell me Bailey Zappi or Sam Darnold is the Saints' answer, I mean, bro, we about to enter a dark winter.
Answer is carrying a heavy load right there. The quarterback is not going to be the strength of the new. I will say this definitively: the quarterback will not be the strength of the 2023 Saints.
By the way, Mike, Jameis has an $11 million dead cap number. They're going to cut him?
Well, first of all, dead cap money. That's cap money no matter what.
Right.
They paid him $15 million this year. They chose to structure the cap the way they did. Every single player that doesn't make this team next year is going to have a big dead cap number. That's how the Saints have done business to keep things afloat. They won't let that make them keep Jameis Winston as their quarterback if they don't think he's the answer. They won't pay him another $14 million in new money next year if they don't think he's the best man for the job.
Okay.
But I think there is still a path for him to have a strong finish to this season and to go into next year healthier and take another crack at it. It seems a lot less likely now, but it's not. I don't think the door is slammed shut yet.
Okay. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. A conversation brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com. Let's talk about this weekend, Mike. Look, it's pretty desperate. And incredibly, they're a game out of first place. So do you think there is I understand mathematically, Mike, that mathematically there is a path. Do you believe that is realistic to win this division?
Right, well, that's probably more of a Tampa Bay question than it is a Saints question. I think if the Saints are actually going to get healthy, which, I mean, boy, I hope we see Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas back in the next few weeks, just because I'm covering this team and I'm watching this team and I'd like to see what this team looks like with two of their five best players back on the field. And Marshawn Lattimore couldn't possibly be more important with the attrition they've had in the secondary. So if you're telling me those guys get back and they figured some things out and they're going to maybe get a little more turnover luck and maybe they're going to win some close games, then maybe there's a path to finishing 6-4 over the final 10 games. I don't think that's an unrealistic hope for this team. But 6-4 gets you to 8-9. So, I need to know a lot more about what the hell is going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before I can believe 8-9 will win this division. Yeah. My brain says no, but the Buccaneers just lost 21-3 to the Carolina Panthers. So if no team in this division is capable of winning 9 games, then sure, maybe. But do I think the Saints can either finish 7-3 or 8-2 to finish 9-8 or 10-7? That I think is pretty unrealistic.
Right. Who is going to play cornerback against Las Vegas?
Well, they sure do like Alontae Taylor. Now, don't take either Dennis Allen vouching for Alontae Taylor or me vouching for Alontae Taylor as throw it back in our faces if he struggles. He's a rookie second-round pick who has 2 career games under his belt. So there will be ups and downs for him. But it was pretty eye-opening how much Dennis Allen praised him for competing and using the word frickin', and he did that's what Saints football is supposed to look like, and that's what we expect from all of our players. I guarantee you he was in front of the team using him as an example of this is what you should all be looking like out there. So he has obviously earned his way into more playing time and more learning on the job. This week it's an easy solution. It's Alontae Taylor on one side and Paulson Adebo on the other side. If and when Marshawn Lattimore comes back, I shouldn't say if and when. Marshawn Lattimore will come back eventually within a couple of weeks. But when Marshawn Lattimore comes back, I'm really interested to see if Alontae Taylor can beat out Paulson Adebo for that other cornerback spot. Unfortunately, the nickel it's still those same guys, Chris Harris and Justin Evans, who have really struggled to fill the nickel role throughout this year. P.J. Williams, I think, might come back next week. That could help.
Yeah. Because we saw Roby go to IR, but
yeah,
golly, I mean, and Chris Harris has been called up from the practice squad 3 times, so they would have to sign him to the 53.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will sign him this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm assuming they will.
Well, it's just dire. Last thing for you. Is there a matchup in this game? I mean, you look at it's a basic pick 'em. I mean, Vegas has struggled in their own right. Is there a matchup in this game when you look at it, you say, man, they really have to do well there to win this game on Sunday?
Yeah. I mean, the obvious ones are Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. It's not so much a matchup as it is the Saints need to eliminate giving up the 2 40-yard plays every game that they seem to give up. Make them work for it. Devontae Adams is going to get his, but at least make it look like what DeAndre Hopkins looked like last week. Was it like 9 catches for 99 yards? Like it was slow knife cuts, but do not give up the 50-yard over the top pass. Do not get the defensive C just opened up and Josh Jacobs ran for 45 yards down the field. That's so uncharacteristic of this defense in recent years, and that's got to stop. I would say particularly the run defense, because I think we know the secondary has its issues with the missed tackles once guys are getting into the second level of the defense, and we know they're down to their 8th and 9th options in the secondary. So I think the defensive interior they don't have that excuse. They've got their starters in there. They've got David Onyemata and Shai Tuttle in there. They've got Kentavious Street, Tano Passignon, and probably now Peyton Turner in there to rotate in. I think that defensive front needs to say, we're going to stop the run and we're going to make them, at least be one-dimensional. When teams have been running as easy as they have this year, which is so uncharacteristic of this defense, I don't think they can stop the Raiders if they're letting them run like that.
DeAndre Hopkins, 10 for 103, a long of 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but, it wasn't like the Jamar Chase 60-yard touchdown.
Which was going to be the next words out of my mouth. Why couldn't he have hurt his hip in the third quarter against the Saints? Like, why did it have to happen now? All right, he's Mike Triplett.
Well, they said he originally got hurt against the Saints. They must have had a good shot for him during that game.
That or adrenaline, whatever it was, carried him through. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our conversations with Mike every week brought to you by Benny's Car Wash, Benny'sCarWash.com. Make sure you ask about their Wash Club memberships. You get unlimited washes throughout the month and discounts on gas at the Be Quick when you're a member over at Benny's. So Benny'sCarWash.com. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, man. Be well. We'll talk again next week. Big one for the Saints. There's no other way to say it. Paul Nolan from FreeWinners.net was with us last hour. He did give you Tampa minus the 2 in the ball game tonight. We'll see what the Otter thinks. Otter 3-0 last night on his NBA picks. Can I get 3 dings? We're just trying to pay for your kids' college here on AFR. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to pay for your kids' college. Otterlocks next.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. 4 days left, y'all. 4 days left in October, all throughout this month. We have helped spread the message about breast cancer awareness. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, in October. And at the Baton Rouge General Hospital, they certainly play their part. The splash screen on their website is Protect Your Pumpkins, the pink pumpkins, painting everything pink. They have the pink pumpkin patch over at the Bluebonnet campus early in the month. brgeneral.org to learn more, brgeneral.org. It's where you can donate. It's where you can schedule your mammogram. It's where you can learn more about your risk, about how every 13 minutes, a woman dies of breast cancer in the United States. 1 in 8 women will develop invasive breast cancer in her lifetime. 85% of those women diagnosed have no family history. Learn more. Schedule that mammogram. Protect your pumpkins. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
Last night, the Otter gave you the Pistons. He gave you the Bulls. He gave you the Nuggets. Thank you very much. A 3-0 night for the Otter, and he's back for more. Otter, how are you?
Do you, quiz time, do you like me giving you picks from the Episcopal Father-Son football dinner or from Del Mar?
Yes, you are banned from the show from Del. Actually, you're banned from Del Mar is what you are. You can no longer go to Del Mar.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Happy birthday, Otter.
28. How about that?
28 years old. Well, I didn't know it, but now you're in my phone, and you'll be getting a happy birthday call from me every year here to 4. So you got to make it a few more years. You know what I mean? So I can wish you happy birthday.
Yeah, so, EJ, oh, Dad, what's today? What's today? Well, here's your breakfast, boy. 6:30 in the morning. Get the hell out of here. The Fresh Prince of Gretna. I mean,
All right, hey, look, we got a full slate tonight. Hey, so Paul Nolan.
Guess what I got?
What you got? Oh, come
Give me the horn. Give me the horn. Give me the horn, baby.
Let's go. All
Canadians, right. Montreal. See what they are on the money line.
Let's see. The Montreal Canadiens are
playing Buffalo, I believe.
What plus 160?
Plus 160. There you go. He said Buffalo coming back from a road trip. So
likes Montreal. Let's get it. Come on, Colucci. All right. We got the Canadiens. All right. We got an NFL game. Paul Nolan like Tampa laying the 2. What do you think about the NFL? Or do you like college tonight?
10-2, prime time.
Yes.
I'm debating, struggling, celebrating the birthday. I'm trying to see who's more athletic at quarterback tonight. Tom Brady or Lamar. Give me Kendrick Lamar Jackson, baby. Give me this. Yes. I'm on the Ravens in that one too.
Otter is going with Baltimore, so a disagreement. Paul Nolan liked Tampa. Otter's going Baltimore tonight.
Paul's my boy. Paul's been sizzling this year.
Yeah, he's been great.
Sizzling. He's been a big part of that. When I redid the math,
remaining.
Our first losing Sunday was 6-7 this week. So just a little clarification there. So anyway, we're 62-33, for the season. Not bad. Late night special. We're gonna soak up as much of this birthday as we can. By the way, the bartender Christina said, "No way, you're 56." I said, "Bam! Give her some extra tips."
All right, what's the late night special?
State. Wazoo. Listen, I'm guilty, like a lot of others, just watching that Rose Bowl too much. Utah, I overvalued them this year. They have not been as good. It's a tricky spot for them to win outright. I'll take the 7.5.
All right. Washington State plus the 7.5. Otter over at Jolie Pearl, an awesome spot in downtown Baton Rouge. Have a great show, Otter. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Happy birthday to the Otter. Muso, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. I keep reminding you, it's a great time right now to call the Williamson Eye Center. This is such an important time, as a matter of fact, as we move toward the end of the year. There are a lot of people that have FSA and HSA dollars, and if you do, you can use those toward LASIK, but they expire at the end of the year. So clock's ticking. It's October the 27th. Schedule that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson, because remember, you got to schedule the consultation, go for the consult, and then if you decide you want to proceed with LASIK, then you got to get on the surgery schedule as well. You got to do this before the end of the year. So don't waste any more time. Call the Williamson Eye Center at 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Online, that's WilliamsonEye.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I am Juliette, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis. But I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother, and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on it.